Let's practice. They travel for work. They like the job. They work at the weekend. They work in an office. They study. Easy. Now, let's do the negative. For he, she, and it, we use doesn't. She doesn't travel. And we don't need the S. So let's cover the S. She doesn't travel for work. She doesn't like the job. She doesn't work at the weekend. She doesn't work in an office. She doesn't study. And for they, we use the same one, the same verb, but we need to use don't. They don't. They don't travel for work. They don't like the job. They don't work at the weekend. They don't work in an office. They don't study. The S, it's only when you say yes. This is for yes, yes. And only for she, or he, or it. When we say no, we use no S. Original verb, infinitive verb. No changes. Don't change the verb. Now, let's look at the different formulas together. Here is the grammar for today. Affirmative. I, you, we, and they. They work for a German company. We work for a German company. You work for a German company. The verb easy. Only the verb live. They live in Australia. We live in Australia. And you live in Australia. I live in Australia. Now, look at the difference. For she designs software programs. She spends a week in Munich every 3 months. Now negative. She does not work. Look, no S, nothing here, nothing. No S. S, no S. They do not travel. They don't travel. They don't work. Questions. We saw the questions for the interview. Easy. Do you? Do they? Do we? Do I? Does he? Does she? Does it? Does he? Does she? Where do you? What do they? Do they? Do you? Do we? Where do we? Where do I? What days do you? What days do I? What days do they? What days do you? What days does he? What days does she? A little different for different people. Make sure you study the formula that we used in today's exercise, which is here. In the next class, we're doing an exercise in the back of the book in page 106. And we need this grammar formula, different for different people. Also, in the next class, we're doing a pronunciation exercise in the back of the book on page 97. So be on the lookout for my next class where we practice grammar and pronunciation. Fantastic class today. Excellent class, excellent questions, and excellent simple present. Ok, class, bienvenidos a otra clase del curso de Software Engineering. En la clase de hoy vamos a ver características de un Software Engineer. Esta clase funciona mucho para las entrevistas y para tu currículum, para que veas los adjetivos y las características poderosas, positivas, que debe de tener un Software Engineer. Vamos, como siempre, a empezar con un calentamiento, después una lectura y vamos a hacer unos ejercicios de vocabulario con estas nuevas palabras que son características que debe de tener un buen Software Engineer. Y lo vamos a hacer todo en inglés. Ready? Welcome to another class of the English for Software Engineering. In today's class, we're going to check out different vocabulary, traits of a software engineer. This class is very useful for your interview, your curriculum, your resume. Different traits of a software engineer. We're going to start with a warm-up exercise. Next, we're going to do the reading, a reading analysis exercise. And after that, we have a couple of vocabulary practices where we discover the traits of a software engineer. So if you're ready, let's get started with get ready. Before you read the passage, talk about these questions. Number 1. What are the qualities? What qualities are important when working closely with other people? A software engineer has to work closely with other people. What qualities are important when working with other people, like in a team at work? So teamwork is important, right? Qualities. What traits? What qualities? Teamwork. That's important. People skills. Communication skills, people skills, teamwork are important when working closely with other people. These are the qualities. Can you name other qualities in English that are important when working closely with other people? You can try this question by yourself on a sheet of paper in your notebook. Then you can come and check out the video and see my answer. You have the PDF right here on the platform. This is exercise 1, section 1, get ready. Number 2, how do engineers benefit from being both logical and creative? How do software engineers benefit from being both logical and creative? Software engineers benefit from being both logical and creative How do engineers benefit from being both logical and creative? Let's go to the reading. We have some help in today's reading. Software engineering and development. About us. Meet the staff. Fiona Adler, co-founder, founder. Fiona started MeshSoft 6 years ago. Her dedicated attitude and commitment to success built a highly profitable business. As a naturally curious person, she enjoys exploring new ideas. MeshSoft earned several awards last year for Fiona's innovative programs and systems. Nobody thinks outside the box like Fiona. Fiona is everyone's favorite boss. She's a team player who encourages employees to share ideas. Bright, talented engineers love working at MeshSoft. Engineers benefit from being both logical and creative by having talented people want to work with them. Exploring new ideas. Being naturally curious. Maxine Spencer, co-owner. Maxine purchased part of the business last year. Fiona's creativity is balanced by Maxine's technical expertise. Maxine has a remarkably logical mind. She enjoys critical thinking, and she's good at it too. If Fiona can imagine something, Maxine can usually make it happen. They make a great team. Maxine has the ability to focus intently for long periods of time. Long periods. Her goal-oriented attitude keeps MeshSoft moving forward. Like Fiona, Maxine has great dedication and passion for her job. Excellent. There's great vocabulary for you to speak about your skills and your traits in any job interview. Reading. Read the web page, then choose the correct answers. This is the web page for MeshSoft software engineering and development. Now, let's listen to the audio track that we have in the material and let's follow with our eyes. Ready? Follow with your eyes.
2. Unit 1. Traits of a software engineer. Exercise 5, page 5.
MESHSOFT Software Engineering and Development. About us, meet the staff. Fiona Adler, co-owner, founder. Fiona started MESHSOFT 6 years ago. Her dedicated attitude and commitment to success built a highly profitable business. As a naturally curious person, she enjoys exploring new ideas. MESHSOFT earned several awards last year for Fiona's innovative programs and systems. Nobody thinks outside the box like Fiona. Fiona is everyone's favorite boss. She's a team player who encourages employees to share ideas. Bright, talented engineers love working at MESHSOFT. Maxine Spencer, co-owner. Maxine purchased part of the business last year. Fiona's creativity is balanced by Maxine's technical expertise. Maxine has a remarkably logical mind. She enjoys critical thinking and she's good at it. If Fiona can imagine something, Maxine can usually make it happen. They make a great team. Maxine has the ability to focus intently for long periods. Her goal-oriented attitude keeps MESHSOFT moving forward. Like Fiona, Maxine has great dedication and passion for her job.
Exercises 6 and 7, page 33.
Excellent reading. Now that we followed the reading with our eyes, let's go ahead and read the questions for exercise 2, section 2. What is the main idea of the web page? Descriptions of people who work at an engineering firm, the types of projects that an engineering firm handles, clients' experiences with an engineering firm, job opportunities at an engineering firm, descriptions of people who work at an engineering firm. So, if you want to work at an engineering firm, if you're a software engineer, this is the description that you need to use in your curriculum, in your resume, in your CV, at the interview, at the job interview. Very important. These are perfect descriptions in today's class. We'll go over them here in a little bit too, in the vocabulary exercise, so don't worry. Question number 2. Which of the following is not true of the engineering firm? The engineering business. It attracts talented engineers. Yeah, we said that in the warm-up. It won awards, yes. It was started by 2 engineers. It is a profitable company. It was started by 1 engineer because Maxine bought into the business, right? After she invested in the business. Number 3, according to the web page, how are the 2 owners very similar? The 2 people. They're both passionate, they can focus. No, that's only Maxine. Creative, no, that's only the founder. The founder is curious. So letter A, they're both passionate. So see, here's the first descriptions, traits, characteristics, or powerful words that you need to include in your interview if you're a software engineer. Ready? Here we go. There in question 3. You need to be passionate about your job. If you look up a description for any of the job vacancies, they have this. They include being passionate about your job. Number 1, I'm a passionate software engineer. I can focus for long periods. That's very good in a software engineer. I have a highly creative mind. I'm very creative and I'm naturally curious. Wow. This is the kind of software engineer that I need in my company. Naturally curious, highly creative, I can focus, and I'm passionate about my job. That's what you have to say in any job interview, right? Excellent. Let's take a look at today's vocabulary. Let's see. Number 1, dedicated attitude. Dedicated attitude. You must have a dedicated attitude if you want to be a software engineer. A good one. Number 1, in the interview, hey, can you tell us about yourself, Mr. Software Engineer? Yes. I have a very dedicated attitude and commitment to success. I am naturally curious. I enjoy exploring new ideas. I'm very innovative. I think outside the box. Number 1, dedicated. Number 2, commitment. Number 3, curious. Number 4, innovative. Number 5, outside the box. Number 6, team player. This is the vocabulary list for today's class. Go ahead and organize it in your notebook. That's number 6, team player. Number 7, expertise. Technical expertise. Number 8, logical mind. Number 9, critical thinking. Ability to focus. Number 10. And number 11, goal-oriented. Goal-oriented attitude. This is our vocabulary for today. If I went too fast, you can get it right here in the reading, in bold letters, right? Let's do the first vocabulary exercise where we can explore these new words that we're learning. Vocabulary, section 3. Match the words and phrases 1 through 8 with the definitions. These definitions are very technical and clear because they come from the dictionary. You can find them in any dictionary. Go to dictionary.com or open the dictionary in Google and you'll find the same definitions. Number 1, focus. Number 2, ability. Number 3, logical. Number 4, curious. Dedicated. Team player. Number 7, outside the box. And number 8, critical thinking. These are the vocabulary from the list. We have more. We're going to practice with these 8 for exercise 3. Okay, are you guys ready? let's go ahead and explore the new vocabulary so you have knowledge when you are going to use these words in the interview, in your resume, or in your CV as a software engineer or software developer. So let's explore the definitions to see exactly what they mean. Letter A. The skill to do something. You can do it. Ability. Number 2, ability. Ability is the skill to do something. Correct? So that's letter A. Go ahead and organize the definitions in your notebook and practice the pronunciation so you can expand your vocabulary, especially for today's vocabulary, which you can use in interviews, job interviews, curriculums, resumes. Letter B, wanting to know more about something. Wanting to know more about something. Wanting to know more about something. When you want to know more about something, you're being curious. Correct? That's very important for creative jobs or creative careers. Letter C, related to unusual or creative ideas. When people say that you are thinking outside the box, it means you are thinking unusual or very creative outside the box. That's letter C. Letter D, the skill of drawing conclusions based on facts. Another skill, very important for software engineers, is drawing conclusions based on facts. Facts. Critical thinking. Critical thinking. Letter E. Enthusiastic about a task or cause. That means you are very dedicated. When you're very dedicated, means you are very enthusiastic about a task or a cause. Based on evidence and reason. Letter F, based on evidence and reason. That's very logical. Very important trait of a software engineer. And a group, benefit a group, letter G, someone who takes actions that benefit the whole group. You're a team player. Team player, very important when you work closely with people. To watch closely, to watch something very closely means to focus. Focus. Excellent. So we have the vocabulary for today's class, at least most of it. we still have another exercise. Now this is color-coded. I know some of your software engineers are gonna love the color-coded vocabulary exercise that I have here. So we have 8 vocabulary words, very important traits to include in your curriculum, in your interview, when you are getting those job opportunities. How about we try another vocabulary exercise where we use some of these words that we haven't, and we do it in a complete sentence. Read the sentence which word or phrase best fits each blank. Number 1, goal-oriented or innovative. We have 2 options. We need to choose the correct sentence. Letter A. A or an blank engineer is always thinking about the final product. Letter B. A or an blank engineer is always coming up with new ideas. New ideas, that means innovative, right? All right, sounds very innovative to me. Innovative, probably for this one. And innovative, so we end up using N. We're also practicing our articles. An innovative engineer is always coming up with new ideas. So for letter A, we can use goal-oriented. So we need to choose A. For letter A, a goal-oriented engineer is always thinking about the final product. Excellent. Use these sentences to practice and help you in any job interview or in your curriculum, in your resume, in your CV. Let's go to number 2. In number 2, we have commitment and expertise. Letter A. The intern had no experience, but the firm was impressed with her level of blank. Letter B. The engineer went back to school to gain more advanced blank in his field. Gain more expertise, right? More experience, expertise. And the intern had no experience, but she had a lot of commitment. Her level of commitment was impressive. Commitment. Another trait of an excellent software engineer. So now we have our vocabulary: commitment, expertise, goal-oriented, innovative, curious, critical thinking, outside the box, logical, ability, team player, focus, dedicated. That's today's vocabulary list, class. We have some visuals here. Look at the pictures. Expertise, focus, team player, innovative. Excellent. Now, let's do a listening exercise. Listen and read the webpage again. What are some ways to describe someone who thinks of unusual ideas? This is the final question for today's vocabulary class. What are some ways to describe someone, a software engineer, who thinks of unusual ideas? Unusual. Someone who thinks unusual. Someone who thinks unusual is someone who thinks outside the box, right? Number 7, outside the box. Unusual or creative ideas. Thinking outside the box. In the reading, they said thinking. Let's look at today's reading. Here's outside the box. Nobody thinks outside the box like Fiona. That means Fiona thinks unusual or creative ideas outside the box. Ways to describe someone who thinks of unusual ideas. They're also very curious. Right? They think outside the box and they're very
Curious.
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 Curious. Excellent class, guys. I hope that today's vocabulary can help you a lot when you're looking for a job or when you're writing and designing your resume or your curriculum as a software developer or a software engineer. Now, listen to a conversation between an engineering firm owner and a manager. Let's listen to the manager and the owner of the company. Ready? Let's get the audio track. Okay, here we go. Listen to the audio track. This is the owner of the company and the manager. Listen to the different vocabulary they use to describe the software engineer.
Exercises 6 and 7, page 5. How do the job applications look?
There are a couple of good applicants. I like this one, Paula Gardner.
Oh yeah? What does her resume say?
Let's see. She has a degree from Lord Technical Institute. And she worked for several high-profile firms.
So, she has strong technical expertise. Who else is there?
I like Henry Pacheco too, but he's still in college.
That might be okay. What's his experience like?
He helped develop the X99 traffic analysis software.
Really? That was a fascinating project. Those engineers really had to think outside the box.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Should I set up an interview with him?
Definitely. Experience is nice, but I'd rather go with a curious, innovative person.
Okay, I'll call Henry right away.
Listen to a conversation between an engineering firm owner and a manager. Mark the following statements as true or false. Number 1, the first applicant has experience at multiple engineering firms. Number 2, the second applicant recently completed an engineering degree program. And number 3, the man once worked on a project with the second applicant. Let's listen one more time. Ready?
6 and 7, page 5. How do the job applications look?
There are a couple of good applicants. I like this one, Paula Gardner.
Oh yeah? What does her resume say?
Let's see. She has a degree from Law Technical Institute. And she worked for several high-profile firms.
So, she has strong technical expertise?
Several. Number 1 says multiple. Put this vocabulary in your notebook. Several means multiple, means many, a few. So, number 1 is true. Yes, the first applicant has experience at several engineering firms, multiple engineering firms. That's very important if you worked at different places. Excellent professional vocabulary, very advanced English. Let's keep listening for number 2 and number 3.
Who else is there?
I like Henry Pacheco too, but he's still in college.
That might be okay.
Still in college. Completed degree? No, still in college. So that's false. Very important for your experience. Are you still in college? Or recently completed an engineering degree program in the university, in college? Number 3, the man worked in the past on a project with the second applicant? Let's listen if they mention that.
What's his experience like?
He helped develop the X99 traffic analysis software.
Really? That was a fascinating project. Those engineers really had to think outside the box.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Should I set up an interview with him?
Definitely. Experience is nice, but I'd rather go with a curious, innovative person.
Okay, I'll call Henry right away.
Career Path Software Engineering, Book 2.
Excellent. So that's false. He did not mention working with him before, right? Excellent exercise. Now, I want you to try exercise 7. This is when you listen and you look at the script. We have the owner and the manager, and try to catch the words that are missing in today's conversation. This is an excellent listening exercise for English beginners. If you want to improve your English, your conversation especially, definitely try exercise 7 and try to catch the words that are missing in the conversation that we listen to. You can find the audio track right here on the platform in the resources tab. Okay, class, ready for language functions in the computer shop. Exercise 2, language functions in a computer shop. This is the English course for IT, or computer and technology. Computers, technology, and technicality. So if you're a computer engineer, or if you work at a computer shop or at a call center for a computer company, this is the perfect course for you. In today's class, we have a listening exercise and we have a role play. We're gonna start with the role play in a computer shop. We have a help box, the yellow box right here. Look at the language functions in the help box, and then correct one mistake in each of these sentences. Decide which functions are being expressed in each sentence. Okay, let's start by looking at the language functions right here we have our help box. Language functions, help box. Language functions useful to a sales assistant. For this exercise, I recommend taking notes. So if you have a notebook, get your notebook and let's get all the notes necessary. I love the help box. It's super organized. Look at the title. The greeting, that's the skill, that's the language function. Greeting, so if you work at a call center or if you work at a computer shop. Offering help. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Do you need any help? Language functions. Good afternoon. Good evening. Good morning. Sir, ma'am. Do you need any help? Is there anything I can do for you today? Is there anything I can do for you this morning? Sir, ma'am, do you need any help? How may I be of assistance? This morning, ma'am, sir. Offering help. Greetings. 2 different language functions to start the class. Greetings. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, sir, ma'am. Next language function. Offering help. Professional English. Business English. Business English. Offering help. Do you need any help? Is there anything I can do for you, sir? How may I be of assistance? Put these in your notes. These are the language functions useful to employees for work, for business. Next one. Technical specifications. Specs. For example, the MacBook has a processor running at 2.0 gigahertz. The iMac has 2 gigabytes of RAM. They feature a camera built into the display. Has features. Technical specifications. RAM, processor, RAM, gigahertz, gigabytes, cameras, displays. Next, describing. Very fast, reliable. Both computers are very fast and very reliable. Comparing. Comparing. The MacBook is more practical if you travel a lot. More practical. Cheaper, faster, slower. PDAs, are cheaper than laptops, but laptops are more powerful. Comparing, you need to learn comparative adjectives. For long adjectives, 2 syllables or more, practical, reliable. To compare, we use more. With long adjectives. This is the grammar rule when you're comparing using comparative adjectives. Long adjectives, we use more plus adjective. More practical, more reliable, for example. With short adjectives, for example, cheap, 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 1 syllable is short. We use adjective plus adjective plus and we need then. Here's an example. PDAs are cheaper than. More practical, more reliable, more powerful, long adjective. Now, let's look at a customer. The customer needs the language function of explaining what you're looking for. For example, we're looking for a personal computer. We're looking for a laptop. Have you got any fairly basic ones? Asking for the technical specifications. What's the storage capacity of the hard drive? Storage capacity, the hard drive, DVD drive. Do they have a DVD burner? Do they have a DVD drive? And the price. How much? How much do they cost? How much is it? That's it for the help box. Now, look at the language functions in the help box and then correct one mistake. We need correct one mistake in each of these sentences. And decide which of the functions are being expressed in each sentence. Ready? Number 1. The Ulysses SD is a power expandable computer that offers high-end graphics at a low price. The adjective powerful. Power is a noun, powerful is an adjective. Powerful. That's one mistake. Which language function? Specifications, right? These are specifications, technical specifications. Ready for number 2? Number 2. A laptop is likely to be more expensive than the equivalent desktop. But a laptop is less practical if you travel a lot. A laptop is likely to be more expensive. Okay, that's good, yeah. More expensive than. Oh, that's correct. Comparative adjectives. Long adjective. More expensive. Expensive. That's correct. We need then. Here's then. Less practical. Practical. Less practical if you travel a lot. A laptop. That's not correct. A desktop. Desktop is less practical. What language function? Describing or the price? Excellent. Number 3. Where's the storage capacity of the hard drive? Where is it? Where is it? Where is WH for WH are information questions, right? Like why? What? Which? Where? How? Who? Location? Where is for location. Where's the storage capacity of the hard drive? I don't think the location's important, so we probably need to use what. What is the storage capacity of the hard drive? Right? Here's the example, asking for technical specifications, language function. What's the storage capacity? What is it? I want to know the information. What is it? For example, this laptop says for storage, we got 1,000 gigabytes in the hard drive. Hard drive, 1,000 gigabytes. So let's answer this question. That's the what. What is the storage capacity of the hard drive? The storage capacity of the hard drive is 1,000 gigabytes. Oh. 1,000 gigabytes. Excellent. Excellent. 1,000 gigabytes. Number 4. I'm looking for a desktop. Oh, that's the mistake. I found it. Phrasal verb. Looking for. I'm looking for. That's a phrasal verb. I recommend that you go to Google and you open up a phrasal verb dictionary. Phrasal verbs, they're phrases that consist of a verb with a preposition. And the meaning is very different from the meaning of the preposition or the verb, the different parts. For example, pay for work out, make up for, looking for. Today's example. So any dictionary can help you, or there's actually phrasal verb dictionaries. Looking for. Phrasal verbs are very advanced. The dictionary will tell you, right here's the example, it's a phrasal verb. So, phrasal verbs are very important. That was the mistake right here, number 4. Look for. Obviously, this is with ing, but the verb is look. The preposition is for. I'm looking for a desktop PC that has good graphics for games. Number 5, do you need the help? Okay, I see what's going on here. The article, the, any help, a help, an help, the help, or helps. Plural. Which one of these sounds correct? Or some help, but this is a question, so probably we would use any. Any is negative or for questions, and some we use for affirmative. These are articles. Do you need the help? That's for something very specific. Sounds very, very specific. No, I don't need specific help. And here we're just offering. So we don't offer very specific help. So that's not correct. Do you need a help? An help? The help? We said no. Do you need helps with S? Or do you need any help? Do you need some help? I would use any help. This is the language function on this side, offering assistance, offering help. Do you need any assistance? Fantastic. Number 6, how many does the PDA cost? Classic countable nouns, countable versus uncountable. How much versus how many? Number 6. How much versus how many? How much versus how many? In this case, the cost. Cost is uncountable, like money. We use how much. Uncountable nouns. And how many with countable nouns, like dollars or coins or cents. So in this case, we need how much, the cost, how much. Number 7, this workstation is a Pentium processor with dual core technology, 1024 gigabytes of RAM, and 1 terabyte of disk space. 1024 gigabytes of RAM? Is that correct? My computer says 8 gigabytes of RAM. So that's too much RAM. My computer says 8 gigabytes of RAM. Yep. All right, so I believe we found our mistake. All right, now here comes the role play. Buying a computer. One of you wants to buy a computer. The other is the shop assistant. Now, here's our actual script. We have the shop assistant on this side. And we have the customer right here in blue. We have our language functions. Greet the customer and offer help for the shop assistant. Show the customer two possible models. We have a Toshiba satellite, Dell desktop PC, and a Palm Texas handheld. Give the technical specifications, describe the processor, the RAM, the storage capacity, compare the two different models. Compare. Give the information required, compare the two models, answer and mention any final details that might persuade the customer to buy the computer. And on this side, we have the customer. Explain what you're looking for. Ask for some technical specifications. Ask about any further technical specifications. Double. Two. We have two for technical specifications. Ask the price. Decide which computer to buy or leave the shop. Here's the different models. Toshiba satellite, Dell desktop PC, and we have a Palm handheld. Choosing the right computer. Let's listen to 4 people talking about their computer needs, and you take notes. Let's read the descriptions, and we choose the best computer. We have another computer here, another example, the Sun workstation. Fantastic. I'll play the audio for you, and we can use the audio to do the script for the shop assistant and for the customer. Ready? Here we go. Lesson. We have 4 people.
Unit 4, Task 4. 1.
I'm still at university and I need an ultra-light computer that I can easily take to class.
I'm still in university. I need an ultra-light computer that I can take to class. Fantastic. Explain what you are looking for. That's perfect for the customer. That's the customer. He explained what he is looking for. He explained it perfectly. Listen.
I'm still at university and I need an ultra-light computer that I can easily take to class.
Excellent.
I need to write essays and web-based projects, and I'd also like to be able to take notes and draw directly on the screen. What would
he wants to draw directly on the screen.
you recommend?
And he wants to draw directly on the screen. Let's listen to some of the technical specifications and the further technical specifications of this speaker number 1. Technical specs. So he said he wants an ultralight computer. He wants to take it to class. Take to class, right? Portable, so that means very portable. You have this audio right here on the platform, so you can listen and rewind this audio, and you can download it on your own, so you can rewind it. And try this listening exercise on your own once or twice. Take your time, listen. They have like a high speed. Let's listen to his fluency.
I'm still at university and I need an ultra-light computer that I can easily take to class. I need to write essays and web-based projects.
Web page projects.
And I'd also like to be able to take notes and draw directly on the screen.
So he needs a touch screen. Excellent.
What would you recommend?
2.
What would you recommend? We got the Toshiba satellite laptop. .2.0 GHz Core 2 dual processor, 2 GB RAM expandable to 4 GB, 160 GB hard drive, super multi-drive double layer, 15.4 inch wide XGA display, wireless LAN Wi-Fi. Nothing about a touchscreen, right? Dell desktop PC, AMD Athlon at 2.4 GHz, 1 GB RAM, expandable to 4 GB, 320 GB hard drive, DVD, rewritable drive, 17-inch LCD monitor. Oh, this one's 1,099 pounds. And this one is 680 pounds. We also have a Palm handheld, Texas, with an Intel 312 megahertz ARM based processor, 128 MB flash memory, supports memory cards, touchscreen. Oh, we need to recommend this one to speaker number 1. Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, is handheld, very portable, 216 pounds. So this is the one we need to recommend. Let's see the shop assistant right here. Oh, we need to greet the customer and offer help first. Okay. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you this evening, this morning. Good to see you this morning, sir. How may I be of assistance? How may I be of assistance this morning, sir? Good to see you. The customer will say, I'm looking for an ultralight computer to take to class, portable. I need a touch screen. Show the customer 2 possible models. Sir, we have a laptop, Toshiba satellite laptop that you can take to class with a 15.4 inch display, wide display with Wi-Fi, but it doesn't have a touch screen. And we have the handheld with a touch screen. So those are the 2 possible models we have. That's the birth we have. The laptop, Toshiba laptop, and the handheld. The Palm, right? The tablet. We have a tablet and we have a laptop. Give the technical specifications. Well, we already gave the technical specifications down here. We have them down here, right? Excellent. So we already practiced those from the two different models right here. Give the information required. Compare the two models. Let's compare the skill of comparison. Toshiba laptop. More expensive, the price, right? More expensive than, and over here, Palm handheld. That's how you compare. My adjective right here is expensive, so I need more and I need than. More than. Expensive, long adjective. Let's do a short one, cheap. The Palm handheld is cheap, cheaper, cheaper than the laptop, right? That's how you compare two different things. If your adjective is short, cheaper, cheap, one syllable, cheap. Expensive, long. With the long ones, we use more. With the short, we use er, er. Excellent. That's for the shop assistant. Now, let's ask the price. How much is it? How much are they? Good job. Excellent. So, speaker 1, that was a fantastic role play with speaker 1. Let's listen to speaker 2, 3, and 4. Ready?
I manage an advertising company, so I need a powerful system that'll work with multimedia applications, integrating text and pictures with animation and voice annotations. Digitized images and sound occupy a lot of disk space, so I imagine I'll have to have...
Disk space. She mentioned a lot of technical specifications, but she needs a lot of technical vocabulary from her job, but she needs a lot of disk space. Let's listen. Disk space.
Voice annotations. Digitized images and sound occupy a lot of disk space.
A lot of disk space.
So I imagine I'll have to have a look.
Speaker 3.
3.
I work as a CAD engineer, and my job involves computer-aided design, simulations, geoscience, and engineering. Those applications obviously require a lot of memory and
a lot of memory.
A large drive.
And a large drive.
So, I need something.
4.
I'm a sales representative for a paper company, and I'm always travelling. I'm looking for a lightweight machine which
Lightweight.
I can use to process orders and communicate with head office while I'm on the road. Is there anything
On the road.
you can recommend? My budget?
Excellent.
Unit 4, task.
So let's write down the technical specifications that the 4 customers are asking for, the 4 people. Ready?
4.
Let's take notes. Speaker 1.
I'm still at university and I need an ultra-light computer that I can easily take to class. I need to write essays and web-based projects, and I'd also like to be able to take notes and draw directly on the screen. What would you recommend?
2.
Lightweight.
I manage an advertising
Touchscreen.
company, so I need a powerful system that'll work with multimedia applications, integrating text and pictures with animation and voice annotations. Digitized images and sound occupy a lot of disk space, so I imagine I'll have to...
Disk space. Basically, she said
3.
disk space.
I work as a CAD engineer, and my job involves computer-aided design, simulations, geoscience, and engineering. Those applications obviously require a lot of memory and a large drive.
Memory.
So, I need
Large drive. One more.
something.
4.
I'm a sales representative for a paper company, and I'm always travelling. I'm looking for a lightweight machine which I can use to process orders and communicate with head office while I'm on the road. Is there anything you can recommend? My budget?
Good job.
Unit 4, top.
So she wants a lightweight, portable, she said, on the road. Number 2, disk space. Number 3, large drive. And a lot of memory, which is the RAM. Here we have the Sun workstation. 2 AMD Opteron processors at 3.0 gigahertz, 4 gigabytes of RAM, 32 gigabytes maximum, 1 terabyte of hard drive. Oh, there you go. Large drive, a lot of memory. Lightweight? No, it's big. Graphic formats and disk space. Speaker number 2. She mentioned graphics too. Graphics. That's perfect for speaker 2 and speaker 3. Not for 4 or number 1. Here we have a gateway convertible notebook. Intel Core 2 Duo ULV processor at 1.06 gigahertz with a touch screen, 12.1 inch WXGA-TFT touchscreen with a stylus pen. Oh, this is the perfect one for speaker number 1. And we also have the Sony Vaio laptop. Very portable, lightweight. Perfect for speaker 1 and speaker 2. Speaker 4, sorry, speaker 4. They want portable, lightweight. Desktop, no. Speaker 1, speaker 4, and definitely speaker 1, speaker 4. The Dell Inspire on desktop PC has a video card, so this is perfect for speaker number 2. It has the media center. Now, it's your turn to choose which computer do you need? Which computer would you like to buy? So this was the class, buying a computer. Buying a computer, we went to the shop, computer shop, and talk to the shop assistant. We heard 4 different shoppers, 4 different customers. Go ahead and try an exercise for homework. Write down the conversation for the customer and the conversation for the shop assistant. Excellent class, fantastic. Okay, class, welcome to another one of your English for Restaurant Workers units. This is unit 3, taking a beverage order. In this unit, we're gonna do an exercise where we use all the key vocabulary like verbs and nouns and adjectives and adverbs that we have right here at the end of every class. We have a couple of notes. It looks just like a page out of a notebook. And we have the key vocabulary section. Here, you'll find different verbs that we saw in that class. Taking a beverage order. Different nouns. And adjectives and verbs. Adjectives and adverbs. We also have a little section called for special attention, where we have more vocabulary words. And obviously we have the phrases, the expressions that we use when we speak with our guest. In today's class, we're also going to include what we saw in the clearing unused place settings. Clearing unused place settings. Here we also have the key vocabulary section, where you can find verbs and nouns and adjectives. In today's class, we have an exercise. The first exercise is with nouns, different tools, different things in the restaurant. Next, we're going to do an exercise with verbs, the actions that we see the waitress is doing. Verbs. And we also have the opposite. Next, more nouns, like objects in the restaurant, people in the restaurant. Exercise 4, we have some phrases that the waiter is using when he speaks to the guest. You can find them in the more expressions in the section with our notes. We're going to do an exercise of the skills. What is the name of each of the skills and the exact phrase? Next, we're going to organize the phrases and check the response. The guest will be participating. We're going to do a little role play. You're the guest, I'm the waiter, guest, and the exact expressions that we need to say in English when we take a beverage order. We're going to organize the phrases right here so we can have a script so you can practice the role play for homework. That way you can take a beverage order at the restaurant. Let's get started with the vocabulary. Key vocabulary in this section for verbs, we have to arrange, to give, to introduce, to place, to put, to repeat, to serve, to take an order. Those are the verbs. Make sure you repeat the verbs. We need to find, you can find the verbs right here in the description that we saw last class. She took their order, for example. Take an order, right? Arrange. Mary arranged the drinks on a tray. Place. Mary placed the lady's drink on a coaster. Give, introduce. Mary introduced herself. She gave the menu. She introduced. She gave the menu. Pay attention to the pictures. The picture is showing the verb that Mary is doing. Put, repeat, serve, take an order. We have more verbs in the next section. Hold, to inform, to pick up, to put back, to set, to take an order, to take away. There's the list of verbs. For homework, you need to take these verbs and put them in the dictionary. Make sure you also check Google for images, pictures. We have pictures here in the book. To hold, to inform, holding an empty tray. Look at the picture. Right here, Mary is holding an empty tray. Hold. Holding an empty tray in her left hand. She's holding. Mary picked up each item. She's picking up right here. Holding right here, picking up right here. And she put the item on her tray. She's putting right here. Put, holding. She put each item back. Put back. She put the item back. Mary took the unused cutlery. She took it. Take back. And she informed. This is Mary informing that she would be back soon. Those are the verbs. Set. She set. Set the table. So some place settings were not used. Now let's look at the nouns, the different things. We have a set of silverware or cutlery, a set. We also have a cover, crockery, cutlery, flatware, food order, items, placemat, place settings, side plate, silverware, station, tray. Those are all the different things we see in today's class. Side plate, place setting, cutlery, crockery, cutlery, settings, place settings, the tray. We have more nouns in the other list. Let's take a look at the other nouns. A la carte, aperitif, bartender, beverage, coaster, drink, gin, host, menu, order, sherry, stirrer, tonic, waitress. Mary the waitress, a la carte menu, drinks, aperitif. The host, sherry, the order form. We saw that. The order, the coaster, the stirrer, the tray, the dry sherry, the gin and tonic, the host, the lady. Those are the things or the people, the nouns. Okay, I think we're ready for the exercise. We saw that class already, just a quick review. Exercise 1. Give one word to describe each group of items pictured below. Items. When you go to school, the teacher shows you that in grammar, the items are nouns. So this exercise is with nouns. Number 1 is done for us, the food order. What is number 2? Look at picture number 2. Number 1, food order. Everything in the picture is one food order, a food order. Number 2, we got number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6. Look at the picture. Remember class 1, we saw a lot of vocabulary, different items in the restaurant. So right here we have some cutlery, some crockery, some drinks, some aperitifs, and a place setting. That's what I see. Can you tell me number 2? Oh, I see number 1, the food order. That's a food order, right? Number 1. Number 1, food order. Number 2, I see fork, spoon, and knife together, the group. These are groups. Put in your notebook, group of items in the restaurant. This is one group. You see the food order? It's the group. It's not the tray, it's the group. Groups. What is the name of this group? Number 2. Groups. Cutlery. We call this cutlery or silverware. Cutlery. You got it? Number 3, look at number 3. This group just drinks, correct? Food order, cutlery, silverware, drinks. Practice the pronunciation. This is a place setting. One place setting in a fancy restaurant. We call this crockery. Different color. Crockery is white, like cement. These are aperitif. All right, we have our Different things. Make sure you practice. Very important to grow your vocabulary. Now find a word in the box that is opposite in meaning to the underlined word in the sentence below. There are more words in the box that you need. So this is a dictionary exercise with different words. Most of them are adjectives or verbs. Example, not enough. Opposite, extra. Number 1, they passed the notice around the table in an anti-clockwise direction. Clockwise, anti-clockwise. Means the direction the clock is moving always, right? They never change the clocks. Clockwise, anti-clockwise. Very important because we take the order anti-clockwise direction from the host. The waiters bring the meals to the table. Bring, it's this way. Bring, it's coming here. Coming here is bring. Take away is the opposite, is going. Bye-bye. So in your notebook, organize extra, not enough. Clockwise, anti-clockwise. Bring, take away. Number 3. It was hard to find the books because they were in the wrong place. Wrong place. Wrong. Opposite. Correct. Wrong. Correct. So you should have 2. Not enough, extra. Not enough, extra. Anti-clockwise, clockwise. Bring, take away. Wrong, correct. Number 4, the waitress put down the tray of cutlery before she set the table. Put down. Put down. Pick up. Pick up. The waitress picked up. So you can see that I'm choosing the words from the box. Take away, clockwise, pick up. Extra. Correct. Number 5. On a busy night, all the trays are in use by the waiters. In use. Unused. Opposite. Unused. In use, unused. During the weekend, the restaurant is usually full, or opposite, empty. Empty, full. In use, unused. Put down, picked up. Wrong place, correct place. Take away, bring. Anti-clockwise, clockwise. Not enough, extra. Fantastic. Let's try a new exercise. More pictures here, visual. One more time, easy. Maybe you can tell me the name of these items or people. Remember, objects, person, or items, these are nouns. Objects, people. In elementary school, we call them nouns. This object, what is the name? Number one, what is the name of this object? Remember? We call it a coaster. You put the drinks to protect the table. What about this person preparing drinks? Bartender. What about this picture? Picture 3. A la carte menu. The menu with prices. Number 4, what is this item in the restaurant? That looks like a tray. Next. What is this item right here? This is a waiter station, right? Waiter station. Next, number 6, everything complete? Oh no, actually just this, color pink. That's called the placemat for your place setting. We have a waitress here. Waitress Mary. Mary the waitress. And this little thing, stirrer. The stirrer. Look at the different objects and the people. Please practice the vocabularies. Very, very important. Now, we have exercise 5. Exercise 4. Match the terms on the left with the statements on the right. Introducing yourself. Introducing yourself. Mary introduced herself. What is an example of introducing yourself? Would you like to order an aperitif? Order for table 14? I'll be back to take your order. This is our a la carte menu. That's 1 sherry and 3 gins. My name is Sarah. Letter F. My name is Sarah. Introducing yourself. To repeat an order, repeating an order. How do you repeat an order? This is the secret to repeat the order. Next, you need the number and the order. That's 1 sherry and 3 gins. Correct? Correct? Repeat the order always in the restaurant. Always. Next. Give the menu. Giving out the menu. give the menu. This is our dessert menu. This is our dessert menu. Dessert. This is our a la carte menu. This is our a la carte menu. This is our a la carte menu, sir. This is. Number 4, asking the guest if they want a drink. Sir, ma'am, would you like to order a drink? Would you like to order an aperitif? Informing the guest about your action. I'll be back to take your order. Giving the drinks order to the bar. Bartender, order for table 14, please. Now, please review. Look at this picture. What is the waiter saying in these pictures? Introduce. Give out the menu. Ask if they want something to drink. Respond to the request. Ask if they want something to drink. Repeat the order. We need the phrases here. We saw in the first class in this unit. Check out the exercise number 5. And please organize in your notebook the script. The script. What is the waiter saying in the pictures? What is the waiter saying in these pictures right here? What is he saying? What is the waiter saying in these pictures? The phrases for the guest. More expressions. What is the waiter saying? What is the waiter saying in picture number 1? Looks like he's introducing himself. Introducing himself. Picture number 2, looks like he's giving out the menu.
Unit 3. Taking a beverage order.
Lesson.
Part 1. Text and dialogue.
This is our a la carte menu.
25.
Good evening. My name's Dave. I'll be serving you a table. Good evening. This is our a la carte menu. Thank you. Would you like to order an aperitif?
Yes, a dry sherry, please.
Certainly, madam. And for you, sir? I'll have a gin tonic, please. Yes, sir. That's 1 dry sherry and 1 gin tonic. That's right.
Unit 3A.
Please review the audio, listen to the waiter, and try to catch the phrases. I have the phrases right here for you. Lesson.
A carte menu, sir.
Picture 3. May I take your drinks order now?
Picture 4. Picture 10. A gin 25.
Look at the picture, listen, and use the guest we have the conversation from the guest. Use that to support, to help your listening so you can catch it. Look at my lines. These are the lines you have to say to the guest. Ready?
Good evening. My name's Dave. I'll be serving you a table. Good evening. This is our a la carte menu. Thank you. Would you like to order an aperitif?
Yes, a dry sherry, please.
Certainly, madam. And for you, sir? I'll have a gin tonic, please. Yes, sir. That's 1 dry sherry and 1 gin tonic. That's right.
That's 1 dry sherry and 1 gin and tonic. To respond to the guest, we say yes, 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 yes. I have 6 different responses. Repeat with me any request. Yes, certainly. Yes, certainly. Certainly, ma'am. Certainly, sir. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, sir. Absolutely, ma'am. Yes, of course. Yes, of course. Yes, right away. Yes, immediately. Yes, straight away. This is how we respond to the guest request. Certainly, absolutely, of course, right away, immediately, straight away. Practice these phrases and you can combine them and mix them to respond to the guest. Yes, certainly. Yes, absolutely. Yes, of course. Yes, right away. Yes, immediately. Yes, straight away. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Ok, class, bienvenidos a otra clase de este curso de inglés para negocios, inglés para ámbito laboral. En la clase de hoy vamos a practicar la regla de tercera persona en afirmaciones. Estamos practicando en esta unidad cómo hacer ideas básicas, oraciones simples, preguntas simples de sí o no y cómo hacer preguntas abiertas de información. En inglés solo tenemos afirmaciones, quiere decir cuando cuentas que sí algo es cierto. Negaciones quiere decir cuando algo no es cierto. Y preguntas, preguntas de sí o no y preguntas de información específica. Vamos a ver esas 3 reglas, 3 fórmulas porque tenemos unos ajustes en gramática que se tienen que aplicar, así como los aplicamos en español también. Este ejercicio 3 va junto con la información de las entrevistas acerca de Charlotte y de Álvaro y Pablo. Todo tiene propósito. Las preguntas que hicimos en la última clase son preguntas de información. Where, what. Así que ya debemos de practicar con la información where y la información what. Todas las preguntas tienen el auxiliar do. Tienen el auxiliar do porque así es la fórmula de preguntas cuando hablamos con un verbo principal de acción. Por eso, aquí en las preguntas nos están señalando el auxiliar do está con un color más oscuro. Si te fijas en la pregunta A, No tenemos el auxiliar do porque esta pregunta tiene el verbo de cero estar. En el mundo de inglés separamos el mundo de cero estar y el mundo con todos los otros verbos que no son cero estar. Hoy vamos a practicar con verbos que no son cero estar. Ya vimos un poco cero estar en las clases pasadas al principio. También ya vimos que se le tiene que agregar una S al verbo cuando hablamos en tercera persona singular, que es con ella o con Charlotte, por ejemplo. Cuando las personas hablan, pueden decir ella o pueden decir Charlotte, o pueden decir María o pueden decir la maestra. A eso me refiero cuando hablamos de tercera persona. No es tú, no es yo, ni nosotros, ni ellos. Es otra tercera persona, él o ella, o alguna cosa. Se le agrega S al verbo cuando contamos que sí. Solo en afirmaciones que sí. Esa regla no se aplica en negaciones porque en negaciones usamos doesn't. Y tampoco nunca se aplica con ellos o con dos personas que son ellos, Álvaro y Pablo, por ejemplo. Así que todo tiene su propósito. Vamos a hacer este ejercicio y después vamos a ver la fórmula y lo vamos a hacer todo en inglés. Ok, ¿listos? Okay, class, welcome to another class of your English course for business. This course is designed to help you speak English at your workplace, professional English, and in today's class we're doing basic, simple sentences, simple affirmative sentences. We're also doing simple yes or no questions. We're doing questions, information questions about your activities, about work. In the last class, we saw 2 interviews. One about Charlotte Thomas and one about Alvaro and Pablo together. Everything has a purpose here. The reason we had an interview with only Charlotte is because with Charlotte, we can review the rules for third person, she or Charlotte. Alvaro and Pablo is about they, singular and plural. This is very important to keep in mind because we have grammar rules in English that we have to use. In the exercise, we practiced questions. If you notice, all the questions are with do. All the questions are with do and with a main action verb, a verb. You can see it in bold letters, dark color letters. We have the verbs travel, have, work, and like. Look very closely at letter A. Letter A right here there is not do or action verb. This is a to be question. We have the verb to be. In English, the verb to be is very different from the action verbs, all the other verbs. With all the other verbs, we use do for questions and negative don't, doesn't, for negative, and does for third person. That is why we have Charlotte Thomas by herself right here. So these are the rules. Put the rules in your notes. These are the rules. With Charlotte, which is she, correct? We need to use affirmative, verb. We need to add the S, letter S, for affirmative sentences, which is when we say yes. Correct? That's rule number one. When we say yes, we need to add S on the verb with she or he or it. Singular, third person. Number two, when we say no, we need to use doesn't. When we have negative sentences, negative, no, when we say no. And number three, for questions, we need does. This is only with action verbs. In today's class, nothing is with the verb to be. Nothing today. Only action verbs. For example, action verb, work, do, like, travel, have, work, do. When we use those action verbs, we need to use these three rules. Now look. For Álvaro and Pablo, which is they, or we, or you, or I, we don't use the S. And for Álvaro and Pablo, we use don't. For negative, don't, which is do not. And for questions, we also need to use the do. for questions. Now, in this exercise for today, we have that here. The S for Charlotte. And for Alvaro and Pablo, nothing next to the verb, no S, nothing. It's not necessary. Now let's do affirmative sentences. Charlotte travels for work. We need the S. Charlotte travels for work. Now look for Alvaro and Pablo, which is they. We can say Alvaro and Pablo or they. Alvaro and Pablo, right? They travel for work. This is yes, yes. Now I'll do the negative for you. Negative. Charlotte or she. Just Charlotte, right? She doesn't travel. The S is not necessary. She doesn't travel for work. They don't travel for work. That's the rule. This is to say no. Excellent. So now I have yes, this is yes. And this is no. I'll do a question. Charlotte, we need does. Does she? Does Charlotte? Alvaro and Pablo, we use do. Do they travel for work? Does she travel for work? Yes or no question. Let's practice. Does she travel for work? Yes. Charlotte travels for work. Do they travel for work? Yes. They travel for work. One more time. Let's practice the question and the negative. Does she travel for work? Does Charlotte travel for work? No, she doesn't travel for work. No, Charlotte doesn't travel for work. Do they travel for work? No, they don't travel for work. They don't. Álvaro and Pablo don't travel for work. Now let's do information. Where does she travel for work? Or why do they travel for work? We put the information here, the information question word, WH, right here. And that's all you need. That's all that is necessary. Now let's change the verb. Number 2. Likes the job. Do. These are yes or no questions. Let's remove the information. And let's change the verb. Look at my verb. I'm using number 1, travels. Don't remove the S. Only remove the verb. I'll put like right here. Yes, Charlotte likes the job. She likes the job. Yes, they like the job. They like the job. I'm taking the information here from the exercise. Look, they have the exercise is finished. No S. Yes, the S right here. Likes. Yes, Charlotte works at the weekend. Yes, Alvaro and Pablo work at the weekend. Yes, Charlotte works in an office. Yes, Alvaro and Pablo work in an office. Yes, Charlotte studies. Alvaro and Pablo study. Remove the S. For questions, we don't use this one. Only this, no S necessary. But for Charlotte, we need the S right here. Does. Does Charlotte travel for work? Does Charlotte like the job? Does Charlotte work at the weekend? Does Charlotte work in an office? Does Charlotte study? Same one for Alvaro and Pablo. But now we use do. Do Alvaro and Pablo travel for work? Do Alvaro and Pablo like the job? Do Alvaro and Pablo work at the weekend? Do Alvaro and Pablo work in an office? Do Alvaro and Pablo study? No. She doesn't travel. No, she doesn't like the job. No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't work at the weekend. No, she doesn't work in an office. No, she doesn't study. We need to use doesn't. No, they don't travel. No, they don't like the job. No, they don't work at the weekend. No, they don't work in an office. No, they don't study. Speaking about study, in the next page, we have our grammar rule right here. Here is the rule of everything that I'm talking about. We need to review this box right here. Affirmative, negative, and questions. Take a screenshot of this box right here. If you bought the course, you can find this on page 23, right here on the platform next to your class. Look at the box and analyze and make sure you know how to use the 3 rules. This is the first part that we need to learn for routines, activities, to talk about your routines, your activities, your work, your personal information. And so you can do basic affirmative sentences, negative sentences, and yes or no questions, information questions. So you can start to use the action verbs. This is all about verbs. The things we do. The things we do when we move our body. Eat, drink, speak, listen, watch. All the verbs that you saw in your basic English classes. On the next exercise, we're going to do a grammar exercise. This is like a test to review yes, affirmative, no, negative, yes and no questions, and information questions. This is all about grammar. So make sure you practice this box right here. Make sure you separate the 2 formulas.